It's the SMX Insider Post Race Show brought to you by Bass Pro Shops. Jason Wygant and James Stewart here to break it all down. Katie Osborne and Jason Thomas joining us in a moment for the racetrack. It is podium time. Celebrate for the teams. 450 race just completed. Hunter Lawrence, Jorge Prado, Jet Lawrence to order today. And the story that unfolded to get to that order, pretty dynamic. It's what the fans want. Unpredictable racing. Hunter Lawrence has fought back in a big way. He won round 1, now winning round 3 and 4. And hard to argue, might be the best rider in the class right now. All he said, we're going to check in with Katie Osborne. Let's do it. Katie, what's happening?
Yeah, RJ said he's getting better. That was a 4th here at RedBud. Best finish of the season so far. What was working for you out there today?
We just did some testing this week back home and found some comfort with my forks. Like, man, that was much better today. I felt like I could ride, push there. Like, speed there at the second moto was much better than the first. Man, I didn't have enough to get the leap that first moto, so I was getting gaps big time. Wanted to put it on the box today, especially, you know, 4th of July, 250th anniversary for USA, but hey, we're chipping away. Huge thanks to my whole Rockstar Energy Factory Husqvarna racing team, Keen's Buildings, Fly Racing, Oakley, Nano, just everybody that supports me. Yeah, we'll keep chipping away and get on this box here soon.
Well done out there, RJ. And of course, he is digging for a ride next year. These points, these places really help him with that.
That's right, Katie. 4th overall for Hampshire. There's Prado and the Lawrence boys celebrating 1, 2, 3 today. And this is getting spicy as the championship heads to Southwick. Prado is improving, but Hunter Lawrence reclaiming the red plate. Oh, this is going to be good. Yeah. Making it tough on the guy. Yeah, come on, guys. Oh, might break a tooth. Meanwhile, Jet's got it. There it is. Nothing else like it in racing. Honestly, probably professional sports, for the fans to give the winner of the event a hug and get sprayed by the champagne. Are you kidding me?
That's amazing. Awesome.
So indeed, it was a dynamic day at RedBud, the centerpiece of the Pro Motocross Championship and Monster Energy SMX. These are the highlights of the 450 class. And it was a wild one. It starts, again, wild right off the start. 2 crashes. Aaron Plessinger and Hayden Deegan go down.
Yeah, first you're going to see Aaron Plessinger highlighted here, going to go down. Just kind of a mistake of his own, losing the front end, easy to happen. He's going to get tagged here. And then on the inside, separate incident, Hayden Deegan runs in the back of Marchbanks. All these guys are battling, stopping, so easy to happen. But unfortunately for Aaron Plessinger, that was the end of his day. Really tough, considering that he's been finding his form. You see Hayden Deegan getting up, taking him a while to make sure the bike's good, and he'll try to make his way up, which he does, ends up getting 10th this moto, but championship-wise. But then it was Jet Lawrence, Jorge Prado, battle that we thought was going to be here coming into the season. But so far, Jet Lawrence has the best of Jorge this season, and he gets the best of him right here. Jorge did a good job at holding off Jet for a few laps there, but Jet was able to get around, start pulling away. Then Hunter Lawrence. Seems like the theme of the day with him. Once he gets on a roll, he makes his charge, gets around Jorge Prado for 2nd place. Now he makes the closest end on his teammate. Now, Jet Lawrence is about 5 seconds out front, literally a couple laps earlier than that. Hunter Lawrence was able to close that gap, get around Jet Lawrence, and then put the same on him. And we thought this race would be pretty much over. It was just sitting here talking, man, we've never seen that. Jet Lawrence kind of lose the race, and then haven't seen this either. Hunter Lawrence makes a mistake, stalls the motorcycle, the bike cuts off. You can see how big a gap that he had. This is the last lap. Jet Lawrence comes by like, man, I'm surprised to see my little brother, older brother there. And Jet wins again. So on paper, Jet wins again, but he was not happy. Nor was Hunter Lawrence, but Jet Lawrence gets the first moto here at RedBud, and yeah, theme of the year pretty much. He wins again.
Yeah, but it was odd. Both were frustrated. Jet with his own riding, giving up the lead, and then Hunter frustrated with the bike cutout, and that cost him the moto win. Moto 2, Deegan, despite a bad gate pick, gets a good start. He's battling with Jet, but Prado to the lead again.
Yeah, Jorge just looked good all day long. You know, whatever it is, he felt good on this racetrack, and another good start. We know how good he is out front, but he was able to put a huge gap on these guys. But then it was Jet Lawrence, another mistake here in the first mistake here in the second moto early in the lap, trying to get around Hayden Deegan. So he's gonna have to make his way up after what he did there. But then it was Hunter Lawrence making his way up past Cooper Webb for third place. Jorge Prado almost had a 9-second lead by then. And then another one, Jet Lawrence, after making that mistake, makes another one, and then you got to start thinking about the points at this point. He might have had a position, might have had an opportunity to get on third, but he goes down that second time, costly for him. Hunter Lawrence on that charge. He's going to get around Hayden Deegan, who rode a lot better being up here up front. He was never up here in that first moto, so he did good hanging on the third place, but Hunter Lawrence got on that roll, and then you don't even see Jorge Prado in this because he was so far out front. Jet Lawrence is going to make his way past Garrett Marchbanks. Did a great job at recovering best he could, 5th place this moto, and then stays up on the podium. But it was Hunter Lawrence doing the same thing he did to Jet Lawrence in their first moto. Jorge Prado had an even bigger lead, but Hunter, he just came just like his first name. He was hunting these guys down. And once he was able to make the pass right here, he put basically 10 seconds on Jorge in a couple laps, and that was all she rode. So to back it up, what we saw at High Point, to come here and win differently. First moto was huge, second moto was huge, and Hunter Lawrence showed you that, look, whatever they did over that week between Thunder Valley and High Point, he is here and he does something. Turned down for what? Well, he turns down and winning this moto, winning the overall dominant fashion for Hunter Lawrence in the 96. Great job, man.
And with that, he will reclaim the points lead in the championship. He had it early in the year after winning the opener. Sign of respect between Hunter and Prado, who could have won the overall if he could have held him off. He ends up second overall. Jet Lawrence goes 1-5 for third. And those are those results there. Hampshire's 4-4 equals fourth. Marchbank's been riding well, fifth with the 5-6. Deegan, the 10-3, is sixth overall. Harrop, Webb, Ferrandis, Barsha round out the top 10. So a solid day with 2 Ducatis in that top 10 for that new squad. First full-time season for Ducati in the sport, and the same thing with the Triumph 450. Not bad first year for that bike. 7-7 with Harrop there. So still pretty deep, that 450 field. And lots more stories to tell when we crunch some numbers. That's just the overall results for today. And as we mentioned, Hunter has taken the points lead back from Jet. He gained 5 championship points on him. And that results in a 3-point gap for Hunter over Jet. Deegan is third. Prado only a few points behind him. And they've been battling pretty much every week, Deegan and Prado as well, for that podium real estate. So that'll be interesting as well. Hampshire not too far back also. And don't forget Southwick's next week. And no Prado's going to do well in the sand. And you got the Coonan twins coming back. Lucas in the 450 class. SMX points combined Supercross and Motocross together. Hunter Lawrence way out in front. Cooper Webb second. Prado, who was pretty darn impressive in Supercross and now stacking the motocross points, is now ranked third heading into the playoffs. But right now, Hunter Lawrence on top of all the standings, any way you want to slice it. And maybe Katie with a little help from his fill-in mechanic, who's got 2 wins in a row himself, Katie.
Yeah, he knocked the rust off at High Point, and there you go. You're the mechanic for Hunter Lawrence here, Hutch here, fondly known as. You've been the crew chief at the team for quite some time. Going into High Point, you said you'd taken like 10 years off, mechanic for Hunter, and all of a sudden y'all win. Yeah. Congratulations first and foremost on all of this. But really, we're seeing a different Hunter. The bike's good. What's the difference of that Hunter from last year to now?
I think he's found his confidence in his stride. He's always wanted to succeed and be the guy, right? But he's always been that he's in the shadows of Jet, like everyone says, so it's difficult for him. But I think that little bit of free time and Jet not there, he just went hard onto it and just knew that he could do it. And I think you're seeing it now where he has no doubt whatsoever that he can be the guy. He's always known it, but now you're seeing it, I think.
And when you kind of take a look at what you've done here this past year, whether it be crew chief, now mechanic, wearing these different hats, how much fun is it to get this totally different perspective of winning?
I enjoy it. Like you said, it's been 8 years since I've been a mechanic. Last time I was a mechanic was 2018 for Cooper Webb. And I'm enjoying it. You know, we rebuild our bikes on Sundays, and I get to hang out with the mechanics and banter and all the other stuff. So it's a lot of fun doing that again. I miss Cameron being here for sure.
We hope you get better too.
Yeah. But no, I'm enjoying it. And it's bittersweet, right? I come off the track with a win as a mechanic, and then I look at the other guy that, you know, I'm a crew chief still. So I got to look at Jet and figure out what happened there and what went wrong. So it's bittersweet, but yeah, I'm having fun.
Well, I hope you enjoy the celebrations again. Congrats to you and the team on what Hunter put together here today.
Hey, Katie. Cameron out with the back pain. See when he comes back to the series. Hey, folks, you can take your race day experience to the next level. Download the official SMX World Championship app. Gain instant access to live timing and scoring, breaking news, exclusive race day insights, and more, all included in the app. So download it. It's the SMX World Championship app right now. This is RedBud, the centerpiece of Pro Motocross and the Monster Energy SMX World Championship on July 4th, America's birthday. 250 class highlights here. And it's a pivotal race in the championship. Cole Davies getting the win the last time out at High Point. Good start on the 37, but it's Kate Dudley to get the lead.
Kate Dudley rode great all day long. Tough second moto, but still, he was out here battling with his teammate Cole Davies. And considering what we saw a couple weekends ago at High Point, you just kind of expected Cole to be able to get around the youngster. But when you talk about championship contenders, the first one was Julian Beaumere. This is the opening lap, first moto goes down, and unfortunately for him, he would have a tough day, kind of more of the same in that second moto. Then it was Ryder D coming to a place where he had somewhat of a success, having his first ever pole qualifying last year, so you know he felt good here. Was able to get around Nick Morano for third place. Then it was the rookie, the teammate battling. Now Cole Davies a little bit faster than Kate most of this race, but every time he got to him, he would end up making a mistake. Kate was doing a great job at continuing holding him off, and he would have to go back to work. And then it was Joe Shimoda, top 10 start. Needed to be a little bit better if he was going to battle for the win this moto, but he was able to get around our current, at that time, red place points leader, Levi Kitchen, who had a so-so day. Joe gets a 2-for-1 holiday special, whatever you want. Joe was on the form, and he'll show a little bit more of that in this next moto. But it was Cole Davies. After continuing working, he finally was able to get on the inside of his teammate here. There's about 3-4 laps left. Once he was able to do that, he pulled by 6 seconds and goes on to win this moto. But great ride by Cole Davies. What we saw at High Point, backing it up here, it's starting to be a little scary for everybody else coming after this, after he wins this moto. But I believe Joe Shimoda had something else to say about that one.
So into Moto 2, Davies, another great start. He's really figured that out right now. A couple other Yamahas up there, but not Dudley this time. It's the Honda of Chance Hymas, and another good start. The Huskies have been good all day with Pete Francesco and also Casey Cochran. But Davies is where he wants to be. Yeah, Cole Davies exactly where he wants, and that's what he did a couple weekends ago. Second moto hole shot, and he basically left these guys, and then that's what he was doing this moto. But you notice Joe was inside the top 5 this moto off the start. So for him, he had that same pace that he rode with that first moto, but a little bit closer to the lead, and he was able to do it. But this was Dudley going down early in the race. Tough for him, but overall, a great day for him. Now, Joe Shimoda goes to work on Ryder D, or Casey Cochran, excuse me. Both. Yeah, all of them up there. All the Huskies up there, seems like. And you don't see Cole Davies in this picture as Ryder D gets around Casey for third place, and he'll hang on to that position. But actually, I take that back. Levi Kitchen, who had a pretty decent day, kind of an average first moto for him, was able to make his way around Ryder D, and at this point, if he would have stayed there, he would have been third overall, salvaged the day. But he makes a small mistake, gets stuck, and goes in the mud, starts flipping, not with the chef one. So he ends up going down here, loses third, but he also loses the points lead. But going back to Joe Shimoda, man, what can you say? Just like Hunter Lawrence in that 450 class, man, Joe just had something different today. First moto, he was looking all around, looking down at the bike. We wasn't really sure what was going on. And this second moto, Cole Davies is pretty much gone. But Joe came up
and he came through, and it was beautiful to watch Joe Shimoda get a win, first moto win of the year. Doesn't win overall, that goes to Cole Davies, but I think what this does for Joe is now he is really a championship contender in his mind. And we'll see a couple weekends, but Cole Davies, 2 weekends in a row, 1-1, or one winning the overall. Great job for him.
Yeah, Joe ends up 3-1. And the 1-2 for Davies is enough for the overall, and that's DeFrancesco's first ever Pro Motocross podium. But it looked like it was going to be 4 straight moto wins for Davies. That's why it was so key for Shimoda to at least get one on him at the end, although it wasn't enough for the overall. And Kitchen ends up 5th today. Casey Cochran showed him in the highlights, riding very well, 5-4 for 4th. So 2 Husqvarnas in the top 4. Dudney goes 2-12 with that second moto crash for 6th. And look at how close these points remain. But Shimoda got the point lead back by passing Davies in that second moto. Kitchen is still close, 9 points back. Beaumer, as you mentioned, tough day with 2 big crashes, ends up now 35 points off. He was very close coming into this. DeFrancesco is 5th. Combine the Supercross and Motocross points together, no surprise. Davies nearly at the top of the Motocross standings, did win a title in Supercross. He has a big gap over Kitchen and Seth Hamaker, who is now, we presume, out for the rest of the season with a shoulder injury. So watch for Shimoda and DeFrancesco trying to move up there. Well, wild day as far as the racing is concerned, and the track probably played a pretty big role in that. So let's reintroduce Jason Thomas to the broadcast. What's it look like now, JT?
Thank you, Jesse. Yeah, the track usually does play a big role, and it's hard to argue this weekend was not on the extreme edge of that. You know, that rain on Friday really changed what the track was going to be like all day long. It was muddy this morning, really deep this afternoon, but in certain sections, not necessarily so. When you think about Jet Lawrence's first crash in 450 Moto 2, it was in a really hard-packed, slippery section, which I'm standing in, and it kind of caught him out because you could be so aggressive on almost every area of the racetrack, but not necessarily this one. Now you're gonna see Jet set up. He tries to cut back to the inside and get really aggressive, and you see the rear step out right there. That's where I'm standing in this really hard-packed section. He wanted to be as aggressive as you could, and I'm gonna show you, like, it's down to the really hard base down here. Almost every other section of the racetrack, it's soft, it's loamy, and I'm gonna move over. If he would have been 3 feet to his outside, you're in the loam out here, you can get aggressive, you have something to pivot off of, but it was really just the position. He tried to cut back underneath there, and the track really wouldn't allow it. So it was almost deceiving at times. The track was begging you to be wildly aggressive in some sections, but if you did it in the wrong area, it could cost you your day, and it's hard to argue that second moto didn't all go wrong, starting right here for Jet Lawrence.
Hey folks, tickets to the 2026 SMX playoffs are actually on sale now through July 10th. So act now, go to SuperMotocross.com, use the code 25USA4 and get 25% off a race ticket or fan fest. Be there in person for 3 historic races: Columbus, Ohio, Los Angeles, California, and the Thunder Ridge Nature Arena outside of Branson, Missouri. Again, supermotocross.com. Use the code 25USA4. It's a limited time 25% off discount only through July 10th, celebrating 4th of July here. So 25USA4 for 25% off on America's 250th birthday. We can't give you 250% off. We'd actually owe you money. This is interesting. We are now calculating SMX points. This is points together from Supercross and Motocross. It's taking overall finishes for the points in Pro Motocross instead of moto finishes. And when you put it all together, Supercross, Motocross, 250, 450, Yamaha, with a nice gap over Kawasaki, Honda, Husqvarna, and KTM. That will be interesting to watch. There's still plenty of racing left because the 3 playoff rounds will also be calculated into that. So well done by Yamaha so far. The RedBud National marked the first SMX Next motocross combine of the year, and great racing in the 2 motos. This is Carson Wood and Landon Gibson battling it out for the lead in the first moto on a Friday. A little bit of contact between them. And third is Cade Johnson on the Kawasaki, a young Australian Cade Kingsford there in 4th. Now Wood had a little gap, stalls it, actually gets run into a little bit by Gibson. And they would battle like this the whole way.
Yeah, ironically, that's the same corner that Hunter Lawrence goes down.
That's right.
In that first moto, so maybe we should have been paying attention. But He wanted to get to the inside. Unfortunately for that lap rider, he gets caught out. Another guy goes down. And going back to here last year, Landon rode great here. Almost won
That's
this
right.
race and rode good again here today. But it was Carson Wood winning the first moto yesterday before this gnarly storm came in.
Yeah, they were supposed to run another race on Friday. They couldn't. It was rained out. They moved them to about noon Saturday. This is that. Saturday Moto 2. This time Gibson gets to start over Wood with Owen Koval in third, and they battled again. That's the first lap. Watch around the outside. Wood going to make the move.
Yeah, what he does right here, Landon's not able to Gibson not able to hit this double. Carson's able to hit that and goes up the inside. So it was great to see these two battling, and they would stay close this whole race here, but pretty much it was down to these two as far as battling for the lead. But then it was Kingsford right here making his way up to fourth place, gets up the inside before Larocco's lead. None of these guys were able to jump Larocco's lead. It was way too wet. This was before even the first motos went off. So for these guys, it was gonna be great, but Carson Wood laid it to him. This one wins
How close it was.
It was great to see. Good job by Gibson in second place, but
Kingsford wasn't done. You want to see how you finish off a pass? He's battling Kate Johnson for third. He's going to make absolutely sure he gets this done.
shut the door, shut the door, shut the door. And he shut the door, and he needed to because otherwise he was going to get passed back. But that's a great point. That's how you make a pass stick. And what it stuck was third place in this moto.
Yep, third for the Australian in the moto, but it's going to be Johnson there in the Kawasaki third overall because Kingsford was sixth in Moto 1. Koval rounds out the top five. Saw Carson Wood being congratulated by his dad with the 1-1 for the overall win. Bowser, Bradley, Betts, and Bussey rounding out the top 10. So let's preview Southwick. This is going to be wild in the sand. There are so many different ways. Normally we just talk about the surface and how that's going to affect, you would think, specifically Hunter and Jet because they're at the top of the standings. But there's so many other riders to calculate. Prado does a lot of talking about his sand riding and Lucas Kunin coming back.
Yeah, I mean, for sure with the Kunin brothers coming back, that's going to be great to see. And when you say Jorge, you know, this really his only best ride on a Kawasaki was here at Southwick. He showed a little bit of speed, so you know he'll feel pretty good. And today, obviously build the confidence. But, yeah, now Jet Lawrence is in that. They kind of got to bounce back a little bit.
Yeah,
you know, what the older brother's doing. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised Jet comes out and beats him next weekend at Southwick, goes 1-1. The guy is that good, but it is exciting to kind of think about the best guy in the world, one of the best guys, Jet Lawrence, has to step his game up. That is exciting, and I know he could do it.
We have not seen it in quite some time. He had the frustration over the first moto, which he did end up winning, but only because Hunter fell. And then we'll see. We throw these wild cards in there like Lucas Kunin, and then Prado's going to be good there, and he's getting closer. And then you certainly always got to talk about Deegan. And then we go to the 250 class. I made the point, if there was 4 moto wins in a row for Davies, it might have been lights out for everybody else. He got 2 overall wins in a row. He's certainly proven he can be just as good at motocross as supercross. But just that little charge from Joe shows there's a lot to play for here.
Yeah, I mean, and Joe, I mean, he's obviously ridden great at this racetrack. He went 1-1 last year, but he's even better at Southwick. That's his best venue for Joe. So you know what happened that second moto, the way he won it, the way he rode that first moto, practice wasn't that good, but Joe was the fastest pretty much all day in the motos. That's huge for him. So he'll be good. Cole Davies, as you said, that if he'd have won that 4th moto, you would have been start looking at, oh man, it's kind of his championship. Yeah. I think he's in a great spot. What it does, it puts more pressure on guys like Joe Shimoda and Levi Kitchen because Cole's now figured out the starts. He's obviously figured out the speed. It puts more pressure on you having to start up front, and we saw in the second moto, really 3 positions off the gate is what was the difference between Joe Shimoda finishing 3rd and then winning this moto. So that was all because of how good Cole Davies is riding. It's going to be more pressure for everybody to step up, and another bounce back ride, I believe now, for Levi. He's got to show up at Southwick. Yeah. He's got to start showing up to really get that belief going, so we'll see. 2
races off the podium in a row for Levi. Give you the track map here for Southwick. Not too far from Hartford, Connecticut, here in Southwick, Massachusetts. What do you see?
I see a long day for all these guys. I see that. I see a lot of memories out there, good, bad memories. But, yeah, at Southwick, you got a right-hander first corner here going there. But it really just comes down to how's the weather, you know, how deep this track is. whether it's deep or hard, this track is very challenging. I think these guys are going to have their hands full, and considering that now you're starting to see with the Coonan brothers, Jorge feeling good, Jet having to respond for the first time probably in his career in the 450, Hunter, these guys are going to have to show up. And then again in that 250 class, yeah, I can't wait. I think it's going to be more great action like it was here today at RedBud.
It did turn out great today. Came down to the final laps in both classes. And here's how you can watch Southwick next Saturday, race day live, qualifying coverage at 10 a.m. And then the gate will drop at 1 o'clock. It's all Eastern time. Of course, you can watch everything live on Peacock or the SMX Video Pass. Coonan brothers coming back. Lucas gave Jed Lawrence all he could handle in the 450s a couple weeks ago in Colorado. Sasha Coonan dominated a 250 moto in Colorado. They're from Belgium. They grew up riding sand. They don't ride sand all the time now, but trust me, they know how to ride it still. And that is going to be very interesting to drop them into very close championship fights next weekend. So much on the line. We had a lot of hype when this Pro Motocross Championship began. And so far, so good. It is ultra tight at the top in both championships, leaving a spectacular day at RedBud. Thanks for joining us for the SMX Insider Post Race Show, brought to you by Bass Pro Shops. For James Stewart, Jason Thomas, and Katie Osborne, I'm Jason Wygant. Congrats to the winners today, Cole Davies and Hunter Lawrence.